Welcome to the Configure Price Quote Podcast. My name is Sohn and I'm the founder of Novus CPQ Consulting. This podcast is 100% focused on Configure Price Quote, also known as CPQ, and will provide you useful insights into this topic. Hi everyone, this is Frank. Welcome to the short CPQ podcast episode. This week is a little bit different. Normally a new CPQ podcast episode is published on Sundays, but this time the episode is going out on Monday. That was not exactly planned, but as sometimes happen, we once again had a few challenges getting the planned podcast released on time. Nevertheless, I did not want to skip this week completely because there's some useful CPQ research news I would like to share with you without taking too much of your time. So today's episode is not a full interview and not a deep dive discussion. It's a brief update about several CPQ research resources that Novus CPQ is making available for free for a limited time. So this temporary access window runs from June 18th to July 17th. The goal is simple. I want to make it easier for CPQ buyers, project teams, consultants, system integrators, and vendors to access independent CPQ research. They may help with vendor evaluation, shortlisting, internal evaluation, or simply better understanding what's happening in the CPQ market. There are three parts to this. The first one is the broadest. Until July 17th, any visitor can request one free CPQ vendor briefing from the Novus CPQ briefing library. These are short 2-page briefing documents that summarize CPQ vendors, their positioning, key capabilities, potential fit, and other important considerations. The briefing library now includes more than 50 CPQ-related CPQ vendors and solutions. So if you're currently looking at the CPQ vendor, comparing vendors, or just trying to better understand the market, you can request one briefing document for free. To do that, just go to the novuscpq.com website, open the CPQ briefing subscription page and send an email to info@novuscpq.com with the name of the vendor briefing you would like to receive. The second part is about selected CPQ sales reports. These reports are longer and more detailed than the 2-page briefing documents, and they usually include a deeper analysis of a specific CPQ solution, customer feedback, implementation considerations, questions buyers should ask during their evaluation. For this limited period, selected CPQ sales reports are available through sponsored free access. The first one is the CAMOS CPQ 365 sales report. This report is especially relevant for companies in manufacturing and industrial markets, and I expect it to be particularly interesting for a German-speaking audience and for companies in the DACH region, so that's Germany, Austria, Switzerland. The CAMOS CPQ 365 sales report is available for free after registration. The free access is sponsored by CAMOS and the access period also runs until July 17th. In addition, I expect to make the engineering intent Cambridge CPQ sales report available through the same sponsored access model very shortly. That report will likely be most relevant for companies in the US and Canada that are looking at visual configuration, layout-driven selling, complex physical products, and CPQ-related processes where sales and engineering need to stay closely aligned. So to keep it simple, CAMOS is available now. Engineering Intent Cambridge is expected to be added very soon. And the third part is a related free resource, and that is the Yagna IQ Customer Pulse Report on recurring revenue and renewals. It's also available for free after registration. This is not a CPQ sales report, to be clear, right? It is a customer pulse report, and it looks at renewal operations, especially in environments where OEMs, distributors, resellers, and customers are involved. The report covers topics such as renewal workflow automation, channel coordination, AI-supported renewal activities, integrations, customer feedback, and implementation considerations. It is available on the resources page at novuscpq.com. So let me summarize all the three options again. First, until July 17th, you can request one free CPQ vendor briefing from the Novus CPQ briefing library. Second, Selected CPQ sales reports are available for free through sponsored access, starting with Camos CPQ 365 and shortly Engineering Intent K-Prit, potentially more down the road. Third, the Yagna IQ Pulse Report on Customer Pulse Report on recurring revenue and renewals is also available for free after registration. I know that's a lot of information, so the easiest starting point is simply going to Novus CPQ.com. There you can find the CPQ sales report page, the CPQ briefing subscription page, and the resources page, and all these links will also be in the show notes. Again, this temporary access window runs until July 17th. Thanks for listening for the short update, and I hope these resources are useful for your CPQ research, vendor evaluation, or internal planning. Thanks, and talk to you again with a guest again next week. I'd like to thank everyone for listening and hope you learned something interesting today. If you like the podcast, please go ahead and rate it on iTunes or share it with your friends and colleagues. In the meantime, you can find us online at www.novuscpq.com. So long, everyone.